This video shows you how to create your first QUD tree in QUDA. So suppose you already have a QUD tree for your given text and you've got QUDA open. This particular text has a couple of interesting features going on. There's a contrast between two people who bring different things, different foods to the party. There's subordination going on in the tree, but there's also coordinated questions. And there's not at issue material, and apposition her special recipe. Right? So when we open a new file in QUDA, this is what we get. There's already a QUD which has not been filled in yet. So since this is the root node of the tree, we can already fill in who brought what to the party here. So we just copy that question in here, and then we actually want to save it. So in order to save it, you click this button right here. Then we have two sub-QUDs that we want to create. You create new elements by using the QUD or the segment button. So we want a QUD. So we click QUD, enter the QUD here, which we want this one. Again, click this button to save it. Now we want to add the second QUD, right? And notice if we click down here, it adds a third QUD, but it's under the first one, which is not what we want, right? So we just delete this one again. We click QUD on the root node, and now we got two parallel QUDs, right? Notice the indentation is the same. But notice now the Jane question comes second, and the new QUD we just created comes first now, right? So we can actually change the order of elements by using these arrow keys here, right? So we want this one to be the second question about Max and what he brought to the party. So we move it down here. Now the Jane question comes first, and we can actually copy this here, assign it. So since the first portion of the sentence has the not at issue material, let's start with the second part. Max brought some salmon to the party. There's some ellipses going on, but mostly it's quite straightforward. There's a topic, Max, there's a focus constituent, brought some salmon, and then to the party already appears in the question, so it must be given information topic material as well. So we need three segments. So we can just click the segment button 3 times. That gives us 3 segments. Now, we want Max as a topic. So same as with the QUDs, you copy in the text, click this button to actually assign it. Now we want to assign a specific label to this. So we use the drop-down menu. There's a couple of labels. We want it to be an assertion topic. And once you've picked it, you click this button here to actually assign it. See, now it says assertion topic here, and the color is changed to indicate that it is an assertion topic. We can also do it the other way around, right? We want the second constituent to be a focus constituent, so we choose focus, assign it. Now the color has already changed. There's no text in here yet. And now we can copy in this part for the focus. Make sure you assign it. And we want the last part to be this portion right here, which is again given information, so it's also a topic. Now, in the first half of the sentence, Jane brought cheese dip, a special recipe, to the party. We have this not at issue material, the apposition here, right? So we actually have 4 constituents, right? The topic Jane, a focus constituent, to the party, which is already contained in the question, so it's given information, and the not at issue material. So we need 4 segments. So again, we click the segment button for the first QUD, for the first sub QUD, a couple of times. And again, once I assign Jane to this one and brought cheese dip to the second one, right, you'll see that once I add a new segment, again, the new segment comes on top. So we got to move it down if that happens. Move it to the end. And we want this one to be the not at issue portion. All right. And lastly, the to the party segment, the given information, right? So we can also just add this here, save it, and then move it down, right? To the party should go all the way to the end, right? To the party. So now for the labels. Jane is a topic, same as we did with Max. Brought cheese dip is focus, right? There we go. For special recipe, the apposition is not at issue material. And to the party is given information, so it's also part of the topic, right? And since we know there's a contrast going on, we can also indicate this by saying that Jane and Max are contrastive topics, right? So we can change the labels to contrastive topic, and you'll notice now Jane is red, and down here we want to change this one to contrastive topic as well. And now we see Max and Jane are both highlighted in red, right? Notice something else down here. It filled in the default text again, which means I forgot to click this here, right? It should say brought some salmon. So you see how important it is to remember to always click this button right here. And there you go. That's your first QUD tree for this simple example, and what it looks like. So here you see the number of changes since you last saved, 37 edits, and then we just hit save. It downloads the file. Keep in mind you have to rename the file, and there you go. That's your first QUDA file.